Shin here and welcome back to my channel. So you remember how in my previous video I said there were murmurs of a Bleach game and a Xenoblade game in production? Well, as soon as I posted that video, Shueisha along with Studio Pierrot revealed a new Bleach game during Bandai's Summer Showcase 2024 event dubbed Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and soon after Monolith Soft announced a new project, possibly a Xenoblade game, on their website along with a 25th anniversary celebration video celebrating Monolith Soft's accomplishments that, to be honest, got me a little bit emotional. I'd like to cover all of it and there's quite a bit to get through, so let's cut the fluff and get right into it. Let's start off with Bleach. So in my previous video I had mentioned an upcoming Bleach game for consoles which was heavily rumoured to be Bleach Brave Souls, which did turn out to be true. However, that wasn't all. As it turns out, another Bleach game got announced that was also rumoured to be in production. To be honest, I was under the impression we were ways away from seeing it due to the development cycle. However, I was pleasantly surprised to hear of its reveal not long after the release of Bleach Brave Souls on the Nintendo Switch, and as you can imagine, I completely lost my marbles seeing it all unpacked. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The game, like I'd mentioned earlier, was announced during Bandai Namco's Summer Showcase 2024 live event towards the back end of the livestream, and came as a surprise to many, including myself. The official title of the game did in fact turn out to be Bleach Rebirth of Souls, as mentioned in my previous video, and bro, when I tell you the game is stunning, I mean it's stunning in every way imaginable, from the graphics to the soundtrack, the flashy fights, the canonical beats of the game taken from the source material and woven into every aspect of the game. This is truly a game made from Bleach fans to Bleach fans. Sounds like a Bleach fan's wet dream, but this one ain't. Us Bleach fans really out here eating God. Seems like that decade of agonizing pain we went through with Bleach in terms of anime, the 13-year waiting period for a game, and the abrupt end of the manga. In the end, all turned out to be worth it. Bleach came back exploding onto the scene out of nowhere, with like say the anime and its visuals and soundtrack being movie-like and changing the landscape and discussion around how anime should be created. Things like a music video, trailers or announcements regarding the IP and it instantaneously going into trending page. I could go on. It's almost like Ichigo himself when he shows up out of nowhere to save Rukia, or Dangai Ichigo against Aizen. Gives me chills, man. I say all this to say, yeah, it happened, but no matter what Bandai, Shueisha or any organisation might say, all this happened because of us. Man, just deep in it, us Bleach fans are persistent. We waited for so long and banded together and supported Bleach when everyone else clowned on it and celebrated over its downfall. I remember when we'd make videos telling fellow Bleach boys to rise up and buy up Bleach related merch, as well as support the Bleach Brave Souls games. I can't seem to find where I read it. It's been a long time since I read it, but if I find the source I'll definitely have it up on screen. But it's been confirmed from Kubo himself that all that we did, especially with Brave Souls, was in fact the reason Bleach is where it is right now. So one, all of you who stuck through thick and thin, pat yourselves on the back and be proud of your accomplishments. And two, consumers have more power than what businesses let on. I'm sorry I might have gone off on a little bit of a tangent, but this is something I've been meaning to bring up to everyone's attention for so long, and I finally had the opportunity to say it. So I've been going over the trailers and what information we have on Rebirth of Souls, and I genuinely cannot seem to find a fault with the game despite what some of these bozos in the comments and on Twitter have been saying. I had one clown say to me that Bleach Rebirth of Souls is trash because it doesn't have environmental damage. The next trailer to release had environmental damage. So far, Bandai seems to have been listening to feedback and taking note from Jujutsu Kaisen's Cursed Clan's failure. All that we have to worry about now is game balancing, but I'm hopeful that they will come through. If I was to fault the game for anything, and this is just a personal thing, but it would be, as I said in my previous video, I wanted a Bleach JRPG, kinda like DBC Dragon Ball Kakarot, and this is a fighter. But I'll take it, because the game will cover the whole story so far, from the Agent of the Shinigami arc up until the Aranka arc. And the only reason it doesn't cover Thousand Year Blood War arc is because it's not done airing, so you can expect that to come in the form of a DLC or a sequel. Personally, I love the fillers and the movies too. I'm hoping that they have a story mode and characters for that in the DLC, but there's no mention of it so far. The game is sticking closely to the source material, so you can expect all the itchiness, blood, gore to be included. The game has been confirmed to release early 2025 so far. We've gotten 17 character trailers, if I'm not mistaken, with one character trailer per week, and a total of 24 videos and live streams altogether. The live stream with Kubo-san himself along with the voice actors also had a whole pro level match to showcase the game's combat mechanics, which are pretty good to be honest. So that should subside any lingering doubts that any of us had regarding the game, but it's still good to have a healthy amount of skepticism so that Bandai doesn't get complacent with the status quo. I'm not going to go over every individual character in this video, otherwise we'll be here all day, but I'll list the characters we've got trailers for so far. They are as follow. Also, this list is in release order. Ichigo Kurosaki, Rukia Kuchiki, Uryu Ishida, Byakuya Kuchiki, Yoruichi Shioin, Yasutaro Sado, or Chad as we call him, Kisuke Urahara, Yin Ichimaru, Rangiku Matsumoto, Toshiro Hitsugaya, Kenpachi Zaraki, Ulquiorra Cypher, Ichigo Kurosaki Bankai form, Konami Tosen, Soifon, Abarai Renji, and lastly, Izuru Kira. There's so much I love about this game, such as the beautiful cel-shaded look, the 1000-year blood war, moody feel to the atmosphere, drawn out fights and special forms being unlocked in the midst of battle, just like in the anime, as opposed to choosing forms from the selection screen. Iconic manga panels as cutscenes, amazing soundtrack. No, but let's not act like we're surprised because we know Bleach has historically always had the best OCT in anime. Just to name a few things, Bleachness plastered all over the game and I can't get enough of it. However, I'd be remiss to say that I felt complete surety about the game. I did have some worries, one, Bandai was the ones behind it, and they have had a bad track record with cheap arena fighters. Heck, them being the ones who gave arena fighters a bad name. And two, I wasn't sure about the actual gameplay and replayability of the game in the long run, but I'm pleased to say my fears have been dispelled almost completely with the release of these trailers. The gameplay looks truly refined, and they're not withholding any information. What we see is pretty much what we're getting in the game. And I also mentioned the quality of the trailers, like there was no need to go so hard on them. Like every trailer itself is so cool and has that Bleach trip. Like they went out of the way to CGI create everyone's Zanpakuto. It's clear they're going above and beyond for this game. I'm going to be honest, I have nothing more to ask from this game. I got the pretty visuals, the awesome sound selection, the early 2000s theme song, story mode, replayability, and above all else, I got my favourite character in all anime, that being the one and only Ulquiorra Cypher, boy. All that's left for me personally is Grimjaw, but with Ulquiorra being revealed, it's only a matter of time before we get Grimjaw's reveal trailer, so I'm not really stressed. But I want you guys to tell me your wish list of things you're hoping are included in the game, or maybe you're simply wanting your favourite character to be included. In that case, let me know who it is in the comments. Moving on to the next topic, Monolith Soft's next project, potentially being Xenoblade Chronicles 4, or a fresh IP. Takahashi-san himself released a statement going over slight details regarding the new game they're calling a new RPG. Yeah, that's literally new RPG. For now, it also seems like the genre they're labeling it as. From the sound of it, it seems like the game is still years away from releasing and is still in the pre-planning phase. That's kind of a bummer. I'm hoping that they're still working on that Xenoblade export, so I really need that game on the Switch. Why the hell did I just say that? Wrote the script like a week ago. Literally a week ago. Here we are today, while I'm recording this, a few hours prior. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition got announced for the Switch. I'm still excited over that. But yeah, no, back to the video. Anyways, Takahashi-san further goes on to say something I really appreciate, and that is that their aim is to recruit people that are all-rounders, regardless of if they're only going to be working on just one part of the game. Because one, it gives a better understanding of the bigger picture Takahashi is trying to recreate, and two, when the different teams are working harmoniously from across all sides, such as the field, the battle, characters, quests, story, everything fits together perfectly, and the end product and every aspect of it feels interconnected and gels in a way that makes the game feel real. Otherwise, you run the risk of having parts stick out like a sore thumb. Sharp fans will be able to notice. Takahashi mentions this. The best example I can give you of this is, say you're playing a JRPG, you're doing a side quest, but the details of the side quest don't corroborate with the lore of the game. Another example, say the main protagonist in the main story loses his power, but when fighting enemies in the overworld, he still has said power even though he lost it canonically. That is what Takahashi is trying to get at. I find it hard to put into words, but I instantaneously understood what he was trying to say, and I jumped up and thought to myself, yes man, he gets it. That's why Xenoblade games are so good. Moving on, he mentioned how times are changing and methods to creating games is becoming more and more sophisticated, along with the ever-increasing demands that us as the customers have. Therefore, their small team structure cannot work any longer. If they want to keep up the same quality of production, they're going to need more staff to form a bigger dev team. And then he goes on to list the requirements and positions they're looking for currently. By the way, this is not connected to this at all, but I've been trying to apply that as my placement. Pray that I get placement over there. That's all the information we have for this new game so far, but I do worry for what's going on with the Xenosaga Trilogy remaster. If you don't know, Based off of the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, Future Redeemed, we're due a Xenosaga remaster, but we recently heard news that Bandai Namco cancelled in-development licensed anime games on a game that was being in development with collaboration with Nintendo. Man, I truly hope it's some other game, not Xenosaga, otherwise man, I'd be distraught. I've always wanted to play the earlier Xeno games, but they've always been shafted by these corpos. Bandai in the case of Xenosaga, and Square in the case of Xenogears, and it's always been bad news after bad news. Heck, even with Xenoblade, if it wasn't for Operation Rainfall, we would have never had Xenoblade. I suppose all we can do is show Bandai and Square that we really want the games by supporting events and merchandises related to the two IPs. Moving on from all this, not long after Monolith Soft announced their 25th anniversary and put out a heartwarming video that almost made your boy bust a few gangster tears, because you know, man them don't bust tears, innit? They also released 25 wallpapers from their catalogue of games including Xenoblade that are cool, but I do want to bring to your attention the anniversary video, specifically the latter half of it. At the 1 minute 44 seconds mark, we can see every Xeno protagonist at the end of their respective arcs present, with the exception of Faye. The implication of this for the future of the series is huge. I don't want to make this into a theory crafting video, that can be for another day, but one thing I can say for certain is that Xenoblade 4 will have all the Xenoverses interconnected in some way. Not on Takahashi though, perhaps not directly, but indirectly. Especially in the case of X. This just makes me more and more excited for the future of the series. I really look forward to what the Xenoverse has in store for us, and something tells me Cosmos is going to play a role in it. It's a great time to be a fan of both franchises, and in recent times, all we've been getting is one exciting news after another. For Bleach, we also just had the anime Core 3 for 1000 Year Blood War started airing, and that's absolutely beautiful. Going by the pattern, I feel as if we're going to be getting more exciting stuff moving forward. I'm excited to tell you guys more as the information comes out. With that being said, that's all that I got for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. Johnny.